Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, yes. For the first time after William Ruto was sworn in as the president, Raila Odinga took a stroll on the streets of Nairobi, after which he later held talks with Nairobi residents at Jivaji Gardens. Have a look at this.
Baba hiyo unga itashuka.
Yes. After that, Raila Odinga, taking to his social media accounts handles, said this: Raila Odinga, I am honored to have had an invigorating sit down at the invitation of Bunge la Wananchi Jivaji Gardens chapter. I listened and encouraged them to remain vigilant of our hard-won constitutional rights. Freedom of association, speech is a key pillar of our democracy. And then Raila Odinga shared those photos there. Yes. In this video, I want us to dig deep into that story. And I want to explain 4 reasons that took Raila Odinga to Jivaji and to stroll the streets of Nairobi. I want us to look outside of the box to know exactly what took Raila Odinga on the city street stroll and to Jivaji Gardens. If you are watching us for the very first time, subscribe, give this video a like. Yes. The first reason, Raila Odinga took a stroll of the city to test whether the ground is tired enough with William Ruto's government or not. And Raila just wanted to get that information to know whether he can actually join the people or whether it's still too early for him to join them. And as he was strolling the streets, I believe Raila got that answer. When Nairobi residents saw him, they were cheering him up and ululating, an indication that they saw Raila Odinga as their savior. And you could hear them telling him on how life has become very hard. Some were even telling him UNGA, an indication that Nairobi residents and largely Kenyans are already tired of this government. They want somebody who can save them from a William Ruto's regime. And the funny bit of it is that a government that is only 30 days in power, it's expected that that government should be very popular, should be popular among the people. The people should be still optimistic of that government. But we are finding that lacking in William Ruto's government. Kenyans are already demoralized and not very much optimistic of a William Ruto's government. And I'm saying that because if you look at the way Kenyans have been behaving, even in areas that voted for William Ruto, areas that are seen to be William Ruto's strongholds, they are already complaining. And I'm talking of that because if you look at the mountain, they are already complaining about the high cost of living. Kenyans across board are complaining. So Raila Odinga got that answer today. The country, the ground, is already fed up of William Ruto's government. The second reason, I'm seeing a Raila Odinga who is already consolidating his support base. And I know Raila is doing that deliberately, because if he fails to do that, then William Ruto most likely, even though his government has let Kenyans down, he's most likely going to penetrate into those areas that actually voted for Raila Molo Odinga. So Raila is just trying to consolidate his support base for future political engagements. Because again, in Kenya, you are only taken seriously as a politician depending on your support base. If you have a staunch or rather a strong support base, then your political capital goes up. Or rather goes high and goes up, I mean. So you can easily negotiate with other politicians if you have that support base. I believe Raila is just trying to consolidate his support base so that it's not infiltrated by his political opponents and adversaries. And then the third reason, if you look on how Nairobi voted, Nairobi overwhelmingly voted for Raila Molo Odinga. And just as Raila Odinga stated from that post, he was invited by Jivanji residents of Nairobi, Jivanji chapter, Nairobi residents, Jivanji chapter. So I believe Raila Odinga went there to meet the people. And he went there to tell them thank you for voting for him overwhelmingly in the just concluded August presidential elections. Raila wanted to tell them that he's still with them. He has not abandoned them. Anytime they call on him, he is available and willing to listen to them. And indeed, he was there. He listened to them, and they told him and explained to him the hardships they are going through in a William Ruto's government. After which we also saw Raila issuing some, or rather warning William Ruto's government to lower the cost of living. So Raila was there to tell the people thank you and to listen to them, to tell them that he's still there for them. Anytime they call on him, he will be available, and indeed, he did avail himself today. And then the fourth reason, that move by Raila Odinga, I see it as a warning to rebels dumping Azimio joining William Ruto's team. Because it's obvious now that Kenyan politicians are very greedy individuals. They are just in politics for their own selfish gains and personal interests. Some immediately William Ruto was declared the winner, they quickly changed camps and joined William Ruto. And it's almost certain and very clear they joined William Ruto for their own personal gains, masquerading as if they want to serve their people by joining William Ruto's team. But if you look at it keenly, they joined William Ruto so as to benefit from government goodies on personal, individual levels. That's exactly what these leaders, joined William Ruto. So Raila took that stroll to remind them that he's still politically active and they should not write him off politically. And the way Raila was walking majestically shows he's still energetic and he's still politically active. And you know, these leaders, upon William Ruto being declared the winner, they thought and saw that as the end of Raila Odinga's politically. And for those who have been following me here, I've always maintained that Raila's politics is something that Raila is a politician you can't actually rule out. In so many occasions we have seen where Raila Odinga has been overruled, or rather has been read, people have deemed that he's now finished politically, not once or twice. And even in 2022, I'm still very reluctant to actually write off Raila Odinga politically. Raila is a politician who has a way of reinventing himself. And any politician writing off Raila Molo Odinga, just do that at your own disadvantage. Raila is a politician you can't write off. So you went there purposefully, to send a warning to these rebels. And also looking at Raila Odinga, as he was in Jivanji Garden strolling the streets of Nairobi, Kalonzo Musyoka was also issuing a press conference attacking and condemning William Ruto's government on the GMOs, the cost of living, and also attacking Wetangula over his ruling in the National Assembly some few days ago, when Wetangula ruled that Kenya Kwanza is the majority in parliament, while it's very clear, and even the register of political parties did make it very clear that Azimio is the majority party in parliament. Wetangula went contrary to that. So as Raila was strolling the streets, Kalonzo was also issuing press statement condemning William Ruto's administration. I see this as a well-coordinated political strategy by Raila and Kalonzo. Raila and Kalonzo are already eyeing 2027. They are trying to lay their roadmap early enough, because from what just happened in 2022 elections, Ruto told Kenyan politicians that the earlier you started, the better. William Ruto started his campaigns immediately after 2017 elections. So I'm seeing a Raila Odinga and largely Azimio who do not want to make maybe mistakes this time around. They want to start it early enough to earn the trust and confidence of Kenyans early enough. That's exactly what I also believe Raila and Raila, that's also a reason why I believe Raila Odinga took a stroll of the town today. And as he was doing that, Kalonzo was also doing his bit. 2027 politics has just started, ladies and gentlemen. Let me stop it there. If you are watching us for the very first time, subscribe, give this video a like. If you want to have a chat discussion with me or even to support this channel, feel free to contact me through my number. I've pinned it on the comment section. Or feel free to send a contribution or donation to the number. Let's meet in our next analysis. Thank you.